Welcome to episode 6. We are back in the room today with paint samples along the wall, and I have a whole bunch of things to share with you because, again, it has been a hot minute. Summer has been busy, even though we didn't go anywhere. We've been busy. So, a bunch of things to share. Things I've finished, things I'm still working on, books that I have acquired. So, let's dive in. First up on the finished list is this pair of socks that I started when I had to get new tires. It's these ones. These are just plain vanilla socks. The yarn is Linares Barefoot in the color California Dreamin'. And I started these June 24th, finished it July 21st. These were my out of the house plain vanilla socks for the last little bit. And I did 2x2 rib for the cuff for 20 rounds and 60 rounds on the leg. That's generally what I do. I like that height anyway. It's just plain vanilla from the Crazy Sock Lady. I love the tonal on this yarn. A slight variation in everything. This is a very bright sock for me, but it's so fun. I love it. And I think the foot ended up being closer to about 67 rounds. I did a US 1 and it fits perfectly. So I'm not exactly sure what my favorite length of foot is for rounds. It's somewhere between 60 and 67 apparently, because others are 64 and that feels either just right or slightly too tight on the toes depending on my yarn. This one is 67 and that feels just right. I don't know, but you know me, I don't gauge swatch, so I wing it every time. But I love these. So my next pair of vanilla socks is actually Christmas vanilla socks. This is Knit Picks Felici in the color Buddy. So I have one here, okay? It's counting rounds. And for the contrasting heels and toes, I'm using Knit Picks Stroll in the color Grass. You can see the difference in the greens here. I am close to the toe part on this sock, but I decided to start the second one before I finished the first one because I needed something to knit on where I didn't have to worry about taking the toe yarn with me. And these are the current vanilla. And then after this one is probably going to be a pair for my son because he chose, I think it was the color Bonfire. Again, the Knit Picks Felici. I started these on July 21st. So when I finished the other ones, when I finished the California Dreaming, I started these. 2x2 rib for the cuff for 20 rounds using a US 1 needle, which is, a 2.25 millimeter, and I just go. So this is the current vanilla. And then, well, I think I've got 3 needle sets of size 1s for Magic Loop. So I'm pretty sure I could start another pair of socks, but I don't need another thing to work on right now. I have plenty of things. So the next finished item, actually no, I'm going out of order here. So this one, finished these. Then my birthday's tomorrow, or as you're watching this, my birthday is today. And I did say last time that I was probably, was it last time? Or it might have been in the Christmas in July vlog. You're going to see that soon. That I wanted to have the midwinter squares done by my birthday. That's tomorrow. I have like 4 squares left. It's not going to happen. Totally not going to happen. I'm not upset by that at all. I've been focused on other things, so we'll get to that when we get to that. As for the lingering whips, I still need to seam up the hexagons on the Tubataka schlinket. It's a schlinket. And I have the yarn to seam it, not seam it, for the border. It's a gray color. I don't know where it is though. I think it's in there somewhere. We're not gonna go find it right now. And as for the other one that I wasn't sure what to do with, Advertence, the one that's mosaic knitting, I have decided to finish that one. I'm not in a hurry to finish it, but I have decided to do that. I am halfway through, so now I just need to flip-flop colors and do the pattern sequence reversed. And that's it. So mosaic is really fun. I enjoy it a lot. That's everything that is not Christmassy. So now we're going to go back into the Christmas in July things. Because I was a little premature in showing you the the self-striping Christmas socks. But the first thing on the list for Christmas in July is the Christmas Eve Skies socks from Stone Knits. I have her book, The Charming Colorwork Socks, her first one. And I started these socks July 2nd, finished them on July 26th because, you know, I was busy doing other stuff. I used Knit Pick Stroll for both, where is it? For both colors. I did navy and white. And here's our sock. And then that side detailing is so cute. I struggle with the little hole right here when you do your heel. It's not as bad when I'm doing vanilla socks, but if I'm with a heel flap and gusset, but with this heel, which is a slip stitch heel, I struggle with that. And so it's a little, it looks a little weird on both sides of the heel right there, but I don't care because no one's going to be looking at my feet, and that part's basically covered by shoes anyway, so it doesn't matter. I did a size 1 based on my foot circumference, and it fits fine. It fits. It's just a little more snug. I did the recommended size for the cuff, heels, and toes, but I went up for the colorwork chart. It wants you to do a size 1.5 for the chart, but I knew that was, for my knitting on colorwork socks, that was going to be too tight. So I went up to a size 2, and that worked out perfectly. So I have both socks finished here. I'm excited to wear these. And yes, these ones are all completely done. I have woven in the ends. The next socks are not completely done. Well, the stitching is done. The ends are not. These are also from Stone Knits. It's the Holly and the Ivy from the same book, Charming Colorwork Socks. I started these, there it is, July 26th. So the same day that I finished the snowflake socks, and I did not finish these in July. I finished it on August 2nd. So it still counts. Here's my reasoning, okay? Because we took about 5 days to skim coat our bedroom, I did not work on anything in those 5 days. I was physically exhausted. Skim coating is hard, okay? And I'm giving myself an extra week to finish my Christmas in July projects because timeline wise, it works out. Okay. Yes, I started July 1st, but I'm going to finish in August. It's okay. It's my self-imposed deadline that is completely arbitrary and I can change it anytime I want. Anyway, back to the socks. The holly and the ivy. So I used Knit Pick Stroll again for these in the colors Horchata for the main color, Hollyberry and Everglade. So Hollyberry and Everglade for the green. I wasn't sure about the baubles at first. I thought I was making them a little weird. And then after finishing the 3 little baubles, it turned out, the baubles turned out really cute. Can you see the baubles? Yeah, it's really cute. And I decided not to do baubles on the top of the foot just because I felt like that would be a little weird while wearing shoes. So it's just the same little motif, the little one, but without baubles. So I have both socks finished, but I still need to weave in ends. And I'm not in a hurry to do that because it's August. And I'm probably not going to wear these until November anyway. Next, this is the thing that I have been having on my list for a while. I wanted to make it last year by Thanksgiving. That didn't happen, but it's definitely happening now. And that is the porcelain sweater. I don't want to lose my stitches. Okay, so I started this on July 14th. So after we had, was it after? The week of. I think we were done skim coating by the time I started this. I am using the suggested yarn, which is Sandnes Garn Tin Pure Gint in Oatmeal and Jolly Blue, and then the Tin Silk Mohair in Almond and Jolly Blue. So I tucked the sleeves into the body. Got to untuck those so you can see the entire thing. So, okay, here we are. Here's my porcelain sweater. And here's the sleeve. And here's the other sleeve. Yeah, so I do my sweaters out of order from what the pattern instructs. I don't finish the body and then go back and do the neckline and the sleeves because by the time I'm done with the body, I want to be done with the sweater. So once I have the front and, like, if it's a top-down sweater, once the front and back pieces are joined at the armpits, I'll knit a couple inches or so. Or in this case, I was done halfway through the motif and then, or done with the motif. I don't remember where I was when I decided that, hey, we're gonna stop here. Oh, I was done with the second motif on the body. So this one, I was done with this one, and then I went back and did the neckline and the sleeves. And now I'm finishing the body. I'm a few rows shy of finishing the third motif, and then there's a little bit of main color and then ribbing. So it's basically done almost. It's gonna be so good when it's done. It's so warm already. Like, you can tell when you're knitting it because you're knitting with wool and mohair and it's the middle of summer and you're absolutely sweating when you go outside, which is why this never came to bike practice with me, which is I brought socks to bike practice. But I'm excited to get this done and it's gonna be glorious. And then, oh, I already showed you the self-striping yarn. I have never worked with self-striping yarn before, and it's a blast. It's making it go by so much faster because I'm excited to see the next color. And yeah, I have a whole bunch of sock yarn now left over that I wonder how many socks I can make out of all of my leftovers without having to go buy yarn. I should test that. We should do that. Next project is my birthday knit, actually. And this is using yarn that I have had in my stash that I think is the oldest yarn in my stash that does not come from a big box store and is not acrylic. Okay, this is from Rowan. It's their super, hold on. Okay, it's the super fine merino 4-ply in this lovely little minty green color. I finally figured out what I want to do with it. I have 6 skeins, 6 balls of 6 50-gram balls, okay, in a mint color and then in this pretty little light blue. And here's what I've decided. The minty green is the Skyline tee from Tori U. It's all in a jumble. Okay, I don't know if you are familiar with this, but it's saddle shoulder tee. So you do the top of each shoulder and then pick up along the back, cast on for the neck, pick up along the back on the sides, and then knit your specified length with short rows. Then you do the same for the front, pick up along the front, cast on for the neck, pick up along the front, and knit to your specified length before joining in the round. So here's what I've got so far. It's curling up on itself, so it's really hard for you to see it. But this mint green is just so cute. So I'm this far on the front from my shoulder. The back is done. Well, back is to the length it needs to be before I need to join. But I'm working on my front piece right now, and it's going great. I've got, you've got ends because you have some pieces, but I love it. It's a ribbing detail on the shoulder. See, nice and stretchy. It's gonna be so good, you guys. And yes, I know my birthday is tomorrow and I want to wear this tomorrow, which is why I'm going to knit a crap ton when I'm done. Knit a crap ton. Based on measurements and suggested ease, I am doing the size 3 with suggested needles, and it's working out great. So I started this 5 days ago on the 4th. And yeah, I got a whole lot done at brag practice on Thursday. So much. It was so good. And now I am knitting to the length needed for the front, and then we join in the round. So it's gonna be good. It's probably gonna be done by the next time I see you. And that's all I'm currently working on. And all that is finished. Like the lingering whips, haven't touched those in a little bit. But we'll get to that when this pile of stuff is done. Yeah, we'll get to that. Since last time I talked with you, we have had 2 knit nights with friends. Fun each time. There's always snacks involved and always chatting. And we're gonna have one next weekend, maybe? This weekend? We were gonna have one this weekend, but decided not to. Next weekend is a bike race. I'm not going to that one. It's clear on the other side of the state, and I don't want to take the dog in the car for 6 hours. I don't. And I think the next weekend, somebody else has family in town. So I don't know the next time we're gonna get together. I don't know. But school starts next week, so that's fun. And with school starting, I will actually have alone time in the house, which means I don't have to tell everybody to shh, be quiet so I can close the door and record, which is what's going on right now. Yeah, so school starts in a couple days. Everybody's excited. We're excited to get back to a routine. Like, yeah, you can have a routine in summer, but it's much harder when the sun doesn't set until after 10. Yeah. Anyway, school starts. As for what I've been reading, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 finished books since last episode. Last episode, I told you that I was currently reading Spark of the Everflame, which is book 1 of this fantasy series. Finished that. And then I got book 2 on Audible because the library did not have it. So then I finished that. Book 2 is Glow of the Everflame. And then as I was waiting for book 3 to come in on Libby, I decided to look at Audible Plus to see what I had on there, because sometimes I forget that's a thing. And then I remembered that, oh yeah, I added a whole bunch of fun books to Audible Plus. I should go look to that to see if anything strikes my fancy. And then some of them were expiring soon, like they were no longer going to be available on Audible Plus. So I listened to one, which was Of Beast and Beauty. And then I think I got the rest from the library to get me through those. And then I listened to some more on Audible, and I think those next ones expire on like the 12th or something. Read through those, and now I'm back to listening on Libby. I made a list of the order of the things that I had to read before they expired on Audible, and yeah, we got it. So, Of Beast and Beauty, it's a retelling of Beauty and the Beast. It's like book 1 of like 7, I think. These are all the adopted daughters of this sorceress, and she is exacting revenge on the 7 kingdoms. And so each book is when she sends out one of her daughters to go exact revenge. Okay, so book 1 is a retelling of Beauty and the Beast. You read the description and it sounds ridiculous, but it starts off with an arranged marriage, but the brides are swapped out the day of the wedding, like mere hours before walking down the aisle, and sorceress swaps out the bride for her daughter to exact revenge. And then there's a beast that is roaming the kingdom, offing people. The daughter, Beauty, is also a sorceress, so she has magic. There's several twists throughout the thing, and it's a wild ride and so fun. I recommend that one. After I finished that, I went back to a fun, cozy mystery series set on the Oregon coast. I don't know what the actual series is called, but the first book is called The Ghost of Marlowe House. So I got book number 5, which is The Ghost of Halloween Past. So the premise of the series is there's this woman who inherits this house from her great aunt, and she goes to turn it into a bed and breakfast. And she has this secret that she doesn't tell anybody, is that she can see ghosts and speak to them. It's kind of like the Sixth Sense, but not creepy. Okay. And the ghost that she inherits, the house that she inherits is haunted by the ghost of the previous owner of the house, because he was killed in the house. And he wants her to help uncover what actually happened. And she does. That's like the first book. And then each book after that, there's some sort of mystery in town, and her ghost helps her solve it somehow. And they're fun, cozy mysteries, and they're just, you breeze through them. So I did 4 of those right in a row. So it was The Ghost of Halloween Past, and then The Ghost Who Came for Christmas. Oh, that one was so good. And just, somebody is a ghost and you don't know who. Like, you don't realize that someone is a ghost. And it's, and I loved it. Pulled at my heartstrings. Oh, so good. The next one, Ghost of Valentine Past. What was that one? Don't remember because I think I'm getting it mixed up with the other one. The Ghost from the Sea. So a long lost yacht from the 1920s gets washed up onto the beach of the town right down the street from her house, and a ghost inhabits the shipwreck. So she helps unravel the mystery surrounding it. And that one's a good one. And then I changed direction book-wise and read the first book of Veronica Speedwell, which is A Curious Beginning. That was great. That was really fun. Victorian England. Her aunt has died, her guardian, and as she goes back to her house to gather her belongings and leave, her house gets burglarized and she almost gets kidnapped. And then some random guy says, "Hey, you're in danger. You're going to come with me to London." And she goes with him to London, gets dropped off with some other guy who is friends of the first dude. And then the guy who says, "Come with me to London," he ends up dead. And then they are suspects. And people are trying to kill her. So that's really fun. That's the first in a series. I've got the second book on Libby. I think that's my next read. Actually, you know what? Book 3 of The Everflame came in. So I think that one's actually next. And then we'll go back to Veronica Speedwell. So after Veronica Speedwell, that's the last thing I finished. And now my current reads, I have a physical book because library didn't have the audiobook version of this one. And the audiobook on Audible Plus had expired by the time I got to it. It's Murder in an English Village. It's a cute little cozy mystery. You've got an American adventure woman, person. She is still friends with someone that she met at finishing school who lives in an English village, and she comes to visit and there's a murder, and then, they're little old ladies and they go solve a murder in an English village. It's adorable. I read it at night, and so I'm working my way through it because, I read for 15 minutes and then I sleep because I'm tired. But that's my physical book. And then my audiobook is Of Glass and Glamour, which is book 2 of that fairy tale retellings. This one is based off of Cinderella, except Cinderella needs to exact revenge on the royal family who killed her parents. Prince is one of them. He has to choose a bride, and they do it like bachelor style. So there's a big ball, and he has to, and his parents help, choose 20 girls to continue on to the next phase. And it's a masquerade, and he doesn't know what they look like. And she gets chosen to go on to the next phase. And, the contestants for the throne are whittled down. But that's just like background story to her finding out what happened to her parents because it's a mystery. Okay, right? She's the adoptive daughter of the evil sorceress. And it's adorable. I'm having a great time with it. Again, you read the description, you think this is stupid and ridiculous, but it's really good. She does annoy me a little bit because she has no confidence in herself and in her abilities. And so she's always second guessing and putting herself down, and she's annoying me. And I think she is slowly coming to realize that, oh, I am actually good at what I do. I shouldn't doubt myself. So I'm nearly done with that. I think I have like an hour and a half left on that listen. And then I've got another audiobook lined up, which I think is going to be Heat of the Everflame, I think is book 3. So that's the next one. Yeah, that's a lot of books in the last month, and I have more lined up. But kids and I have finished watching Once Upon a Time. Like, you can go ahead and you don't even have to watch season 7. Like, where it ended, season 6, totally fine. Like, it adds a little bit to the characters from Storybook, like minuscule. The only ones who stayed are Regina, Rumple, and Hook. Everybody else is new. Oh, and they aged up Henry. Everybody else is new. Yeah, like it. Yeah, we're done. Don't know if the kids want to watch anything else with me. I did suggest that we watch Merlin. I think they would enjoy Merlin. I love Merlin, but I think they're tired out of watching TV. So we'll see what happens. And now I have a whole bunch of things to share with you of books that I have acquired. Like, my first up is a pile of books and magazines that I got at the library book sale back in June. Totally forgot to share these with you. So I got all of these for $1, $2, something like that. And these are just in no particular order. I haven't organized these in any way, shape, or form. I've got a mixture of knitting and I think embroidery and cross stitch, and it's so fun. So first up is from fall of 2012, and it's 31 inspired projects for Jane Austen knits. You ready? Yep. So you open it up, and there's fun things in here. I think this might have been a turn into a book, because I remember seeing some of these. Yeah, but anyway, I have Jane Austen inspired knitting. And then this thing from, I don't even know what year. This is Bernat Cables and Raglans for the family. Sweaters, coats, and dresses. See that? That's pretty old. Yep, 1966. This comes from 66. I'm gonna have fun with that. And then we've got a little Vogue knitting magazine from spring 2006. And I don't think I even opened it. I just saw, ooh, Vogue knitting, and grabbed it. Like, what's even in here? What is this? What is that? I don't know what that is, but that's just going to be fun to look through. Then I've got another old one. This is from Brunswick. Oh, it's in Roman numerals. I don't know those immediately off the top of my head, so I can't tell you. But that looks really fun. So, here's the centerfold. So this is just like a bunch of people in snow and skis and their sweaters. So that's I have no idea if I'm going to make anything out of these. They were just fun to have. Then I've got another one from Vogue Knitting. This is International is what it says, Vogue Knitting International. Winter 2006, 2007. Okay. This is as old as my marriage. We've been married for that long. And there's, again, no idea if I'm gonna make any of these. Oh, look, another Vogue Knitting, but this is Holiday 2006. Okay. And then we have some cross stitch. My camera's gonna die since I'm hurrying up. November 2014. Some more cross stitch. I don't see a year immediately on the front. But I thought that house was adorable. And then we have fall cross stitch. That's October 2018, so not as old. And then Women's Day needlework. Like, I don't know what that year's from. And then the last thing I picked up at the library was this. So that's fun. And then my friend won a library reading contest thing, and she was able to pick a book, and she was surprised at the quality of the books that they had because they had this. Yeah, the Disney knitting book from Tanis Gray. So I think I just need Gilmore Girls and Nightmare Before Christmas, and then my collection is complete. Anyway, so I now have the Disney knitting book. So she sent that to me. It was very, very sweet of her. And then my favorite one, I finally got Kika's book. Several months after I said I was going to get it, I finally got it. My friend and I are going to knit one of these sweaters in here together, and I have not picked colors yet, so I'm not even going to show you what it is. But this, so many books. I have room on my shelf, I think. Anyway, that is all I have for today. So I need to go work on my birthday knit. Maybe get it done in time to wear for it tomorrow. We'll see. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.